Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. We have in front of us probably about 4 to 5 more really intense celestial energy weeks. You didn't think 2020 was going to go out with a whimper, did you? So, we are not quite done with this year that has been so phenomenally chock full of major astrological events. So I want you to kind of buckle your seatbelt. I'm going to do my best to talk slowly, keep it simple, and give you just the hardcore gems of what you need to be focusing on this very powerful week. The first thing that I just want to explore with you guys is, why has 2020 been the way that it has? Why have we had just, celestial event after celestial event after celestial event? And I think the answer to that question is we don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. But I do believe that when we get further down the road of our life experiences, if we are fortunate enough to be able to do a retrospective on this year, that we will see that this was a year that started it all. This year and all of these events have promised to catalyze us into a deeper, richer, more beautiful expression of the heart of who we are. This is not the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That actually probably will happen about 150 years from now. If you look at astrology, an astrological era like that is actually demarked by the precession of the equinoxes, not by planetary transits, but it certainly has been a year that has really, I think, serve the function to bring to our awareness what we want to change, what we need to get out of the way in order for us to create more aligned with the truth of who we are. And I believe, and I look ahead at the next 10 years, we are standing on the cusp of a powerful creative revolution that I absolutely believe will have the same degree of importance in the way in which we understand the world and in what we build in the world as the scientific revolution in the 1700s and that time frame. So this is going to be, I think, a very, very important year that has really brought us if I was going to simplify everything we've been learning this year, it's really brought to us a conversation about what is power and what is success, and how do we define power and success, and really has invited us to explore more deeply our personal role in coming from a place of empowerment, creating from a place of self-empowerment, and using the power of our own personal alignment with our sense of empowerment to serve the greater good. This has been the year where we've been forced to explore not only who we are, but who are we in the context of the bigger plan and the bigger story of humanity, and how do we use who we are, that unique story that is us, the me, if you will, the ego of our me, in service to the we. Some of us have gotten it right. Some of us maybe have a little bit more to learn, but it's been the theme. We are moving out of an era where we have been focused on might as the source of rightness, where we begin to harness power that's rooted in integrity. And you've been hearing me talk about integrity all year, that when we stand in the value of who we are and we understand our right place in the world, and we occupy that place with the fullness of our essence, and we don't take up more than that space, and we don't shrink ourselves down to be less than that space, when we stand in our value, we then have for ourselves a foundation from which to build, to create with integrity. And we create in alignment with who we are. We're not pushing, we're not willing, we're not hustling, we're not fighting, we're not taking more than our share, but rather we are aligning with the sufficiency that's available to us, and we are using the fulfillment of our cup, if you will, to then, or the overflowing state of our cup, to then better serve others. That we take care of ourselves, we stay aligned with ourselves, so that we have the power to not only stay in love and light, but we learn to pray with our feet. We learn to use the power of who we are to better serve the world, to better serve others, and to see the value in every single being on this planet, and to use the power of who we are to lift everyone up along with us. Because the bottom line is, we all do better when we all do better. We're all abundant when we're all abundant. And if we are not all abundant, we're not all abundant. It's that simple. we're not going to be sustainable. We're not going to be able to create sustainably rather, from a place of lack. And as we continue to move forward and deal with the challenges facing humanity on this planet, we can't do it from a place of ego that is self-serving and taking from others. We can't do it when we're out of integrity with who we are. We can't do it without remembering we are all under the same sun, all under the same sky, and the challenges facing us actually have the potential to unify us. Global warming, if you will, for example, can become a tremendous unifying force that causes us to have to explore how do we share what we have in the most equitable, sustainable, just way. How do we share who we are with the world to support that agenda? That is what I believe the planets have been inviting us to explore this year. And part of what's been happening is we've been forced to look at all of those places where we hold ourselves back, where we fail to step into our right place, or we overstep our right place and we pull resources to us because we're afraid of lack, because we think we are not enough, so we don't think we have enough, and we don't share adequately and sustainably with the world. Okay, so that's sort of the big picture view. We've got today, December 14th, a solar eclipse and a new moon. The solar eclipse this week is part of the eclipse cycle that started on June the 5th that's going back and forth on the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. This is an axis that is, again, inviting us to explore who are we, and most importantly, how do we take the energy of the duality of what we think we are, this or that, black or white, male, female, abundant or not. How do we transform that into a bigger sense of what's possible and available for us? We are looking at, again, in depth, the idea that we are creating not against things, not in response to this or that binary consciousness, but that we are moving ourselves towards the edge of a spectrum that's inviting us to ask, what else is possible? How can we go beyond the limitations of what we've been told is truth? How can we break free from all of our conditioned perspectives and begin to answer the question, how can we maximize the potential of who we are as a race of living beings on the planet? How can we take the heart of humanity and express it and explore the full expression of the potential of humanity in the world? The biggest thing that's going to have to happen, and I think this is what this Gemini-Sagittarius season of eclipses is bringing to us, is this profound awareness that we have to leave the past behind. This becomes interesting, though, because anytime we leave the past behind, we're innovating, right? We're evolving. And when we look at the human design chart, what we see is that in the circuitry that is all about evolution and change and mutation and transformation in the chart, every single energy that is all about momentum and forward movement is coupled with an energy that says, no, I want to stay over here and I don't want to change. I want to be conservative and I want to hold true to what I've known was true in the past. So evolution sort of has built into it, when we look at it archetypically through the lens of human design, it has this kind of push me, pull you part to it, which is actually really important. You don't want to go evolving into the future all willy-nilly without being grounded, without taking into account what is working, what has worked, what do we want to bring with us as we move forward. If you're jumping off and you're not testing the changes that you're trying to make, if you're not pushing against the past to make sure that where you're headed is truly innovative and serves a greater good, then you run the risk of being profoundly ungrounded and destructive in your momentum. So we have to take into context that conservatism always is coupled with evolution. We need both. Where that sets us up on a collective level, though, is a little bit challenging right now, because we certainly have the power to be seeking the creation of a new way of being in the world, a new way of creating the world, a new sense of value and the value of life in the world, a world where we are seeking to expand the quality of life and well-being for everyone. And in the background, we've got people who don't want to move forward. We have people who are holding on to old ideas, who don't understand that their function is not to hold rigidly to the past and not move forward. Their function is to say, hey guys, are we also focusing on everything that is working? Are we taking the things that do work with us as we move forward? Are we making sure that we're listening carefully, that we're attuned to what people need and want? Are we making sure that there's a paradigm and a foundation ready for these changes that you're wanting to make? That's the necessary voice of the energy of Saturn and Jupiter as it transits through the gate 60. So we have our sun in the gate 11. We have a solar eclipse in the gate 11, this gate of ideas, this energy that brings all this entertainment of what else is possible. And certainly I would say with a new moon energy and a solar eclipse in the gate 11, it's a powerful new moon right now. It's a powerful new moon that, is going to set you up for the rest of next year. That's really going to tell you and inform you what things do you need to be contemplating and exploring. What other possibilities do you need to be allowing into your life? How do you need to unleash your imagination to begin the exploration of the question, what else is possible? That's what I would encourage you to focus on exclusively today as you sit in this eclipse new moon energy. And Saturn and Jupiter are both getting ready to move out of Capricorn into Aquarius. Saturn moves on December the 16th. Jupiter follows suit on the 19th, bringing both of those planets in conjunction on December 21st, the winter solstice, which I will talk about next week. They are both transiting through the gate 60, which is the gate of conservation in quantum human design, meaning this is an energy that says, wait, well, no, not so fast. Wait, let's hold back here, right? The 60 says, let's not just run forward without making sure we're taking care of all the bases. We're taking care of the foundation, that we are bringing everything that's good with us. It's asking us to check in to make sure that we are grounded and tending to the details. I use the word grounded very specifically. Uranus is in Taurus, and it's been in Taurus all year. And it's this major disruptive energy, but it's also practical energy. The changes that Uranus has been bringing us, these big, overarching, humanity-based changes, this global change that Uranus is bringing us, has also been saying, yeah, you can make big changes, go for it, but you've got to do it in a way that works for everyone. You got to do it in a way that's practical and grounded. And so with this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction and this movement out of Capricorn into Aquarius and air signs, so we're moving from this dense and heavy kind of stuckness that's been part of Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn all year, this feeling like, I know I want to move forward, but I don't have quite the energy that I need, the momentum that I need, because this year has been all about doing the work on the inner plane first. You can't move forward if you're not aligned. So Capricorn has been saying, get aligned, get aligned, get aligned. So now we're hopefully aligned. Jupiter and Saturn move into Aquarius and air sign. Now we're able to put legs to our alignment. We're able to pray with our feet, literally, meaning everything you've been intending, hoping for, dreaming about, anticipating is about to bust loose with this shift in energy. As I said before, this is not the age of Aquarius. This isn't some magical portal that's going to instantly cause you to ascend into the ethers and live on another dimension. Portals and energies that come from the planets, you don't get to take advantage of them if you don't do the inner work first. So these are catalytic points for personal growth and expansion that ultimately lead to collective growth and expansion, because the more each of us amass a critical mass of expansion on a personal level, the more we add to each other and create a wave of shift and change. I fully expect, I know I've said a lot this week, I fully expect that this week will give you a different quality of lightness. You're going to start to feel like the heaviness of this year is letting up a little bit. There will be hope. There will be more energy for doing what you want to be doing, for creating what you want to be creating. But I don't want to just let you fall into the idea that it's going to be some magical celestial event and we're all going to float up to the ethers. It's not. We still have to do the work. And in fact, I would say we're moving into a cycle where we're going to have to do more work than we did this year. This year, we were learning how to deal with the unknown. This year, we were learning about our own value. This year, we were exploring our role in the cosmic plan. We've been aligning and quantifying and qualifying our life purpose for a couple of years now. Now we start to explore, what do we do with who we are? How do we create based on that alignment? How do we put into work, into effort, into creation? How do we make the things, the changes we want to be creating happen? We start to get ready to do the work. And I'm going to say all of next year and the next 3 years after that are going to be about building the world we want to be living in. I don't know how else to tell you that you're going to have to do the work. We are going to have to change the laws, change the structure of what we do. We're going to have to change our lifestyles. We're going to have to change everything. We're going to have to do the work. But it's going to be joyful and it's going to be fun because it's going to be aligned. And as long as we can keep our eye on the prize and be very, very clear about who we are, what we're doing, how we're going to get there, and really, really never let go of that end point of what we're building towards, we're going to be just fine. We're going to be so crazy supported. We are going to learn how to create in a completely different way, in a collaborative way, in an expansive way, in a quantum way, if you will. And the power of what we create and how we create is going to dramatically change the world. The world your children will be living in is not going to be a world of destruction. It's going to be a world of peace. It's going to be a world where every child born has an enormous amount of opportunity to fully express the truth of who they are, where they're going to be safe and well fed and well cared for and well loved and more. So don't lose connection with that vision, because now we have to get to work and do it. It's eclipse energy. Always remember to take good care of yourselves. Things are always intense when it's eclipse energy, but it's a powerful, powerful energy for starting something new, for anchoring that newness into your body, into your life, and get ready to get to work.